Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to be pruning my tomato plants that have grown into a complete wild mess, and I want to address a few things. One, what kind of tomatoes to prune, when to prune them, how to prune them, and why we prune them. And then also maybe you're dealing with tomato plants that are setting a bunch of flowers or producing a bunch of flowers and they're not setting fruit. And I wanted to talk about some of the reasons why that may be going on, because that's where I'm at. So here are the bulk of my tomato plants. Look at how big they've grown. I am so pleased. I was just so unsure how anything was going to go out here in this new property. You can see the pumpkins are growing as well, and they've just become a complete huge mess. It's also quite a breezy morning, so I'm going to stand here in the high tunnel just to go through a few details. The first of which is what type of tomato plants you can prune or should be pruning. So tomatoes are usually found in two different types, two different categories. There's indeterminate and determinate. Indeterminate tomatoes are the type that grow huge and sprawling. They're like vine type tomatoes that you have to have massive cages for, like all of these 30 tomatoes that I just showed you. And they produce fruit usually throughout the whole season. They just continue to produce. Determinate tomatoes grow to a determined size and they only produce a determined amount of fruit. So you do not want to prune on those type of tomatoes because you could potentially be cutting off fruit, and that's not what we want, right? We want the most amount of fruit we can get from our plants. I actually grow all my determinate type of tomatoes somewhere else in my garden. They're in raised beds and containers, and that way I don't accidentally mess up. Now, some of you guys might grow indeterminate tomatoes and you never have pruned them a day in your life and they grow awesome and produce lots of tomatoes for you. If that's the case, keep doing what you're doing. I know a lot of people still swear by that. I just find that pruning my indeterminate tomatoes does help with fruit size. It also keeps the plant a little bit healthier, because what happens when you don't prune is they get to be this huge thick mess, and all of a sudden your plant, the root system, has so much leafy growth to support. Instead of sending energy into producing more and bigger fruit, they're just trying to keep these leaves alive. And that's where I am at right now. You might also have tomato plants at this point of the year that are producing a bunch of flowers, but they're not setting fruit. This is what mine are doing right now. The reasons for that, there are a few. It could just be too hot. Usually after about like above 85 degrees, a tomato plant kind of just hunkers down and gets into survival mode. And it kind of, they'll continue to produce flowers, but they won't set fruit because the plant knows that it needs to utilize all of its energy just to stay alive. Another couple reasons this could be happening is insufficient water. If the plant doesn't have enough water to sustain producing fruit, it just won't. I know that's not the case with mine. Mine are on a drip system and they get very consistently watered. So I can check that one off. And the other one is that they may have been given too much nitrogen in the form of fertilizer, possibly. I do biotone starter fertilizer and land and sea when I planted these compost, land and sea compost. And it's a really great way to get the plant started and the root system going. And it's an organic. And the difference between an organic and a synthetic is that an organic fertilizer is a very slow feed. So the plant will slowly take up nutrients as it needs it, as opposed to giving a synthetic fertilizer, which the plant will utilize very quickly, and that can produce a big bunch of foliar growth without a bunch of blooms. And so I don't think that's the case with mine either today. I think I'm just dealing with heat because we have been in the high 90s. And I do think the fact that I've let these plants produce so much leafy growth that they don't have enough energy to produce a lot of fruit. And then also increasing the amount of light and air around and throughout your plant does help with fruit production as well. So I'm just hoping to get them all kind of thinned out today and hopefully get past this heat, and then they'll start producing again. The other thing about indeterminate tomatoes, some people grow them on one stem, and I've done that before. I showed you last year in the video how you can do that. So again, we'll link that video if you want to go get more details. And it's a really great way to grow them. It keeps them very focused, like their energy is very focused on the fruit set. This year I have a bunch of these awesome Titan tomato cages from Gardener's Supply, and I really do like to let my plants get a little bit whiter. It's a little bit less maintenance, honestly. Well, if I would keep up on it. It's a bit less maintenance. But the thing about indeterminates as well is that you don't really want to top your tomatoes exactly. I mean, you can take out some bigger branches, but if you're, doing a single stem, or if you're just leaving 2 or 3 stems as main branches, if you top those, then the plant will pretty much stop growing vertically. So you only want to top your tomato plant when it gets to the height that you want to let it grow, if that makes sense. So I feel like I just threw a ton of information at you. I hope it all made sense, and I hope I explained it cohesively. It's funny, I get to the end of when I'm done talking and I'm like, what did I just talk about? can't even remember. And then I'm wondering if I left out any details, so I hope I didn't. And this is a minimal supply project. All I need are my Felcos and then something to put the branches in. This is my kangaroo pop-up bag. Just look at these. Oh my word. Like, look at that branch coming out onto the ground. I think this is a good one to start with. First off, let me talk to you about these tomato frames. I've had quite a number of questions about them. These are the larger size, obviously. I have 15 of each size that I wanted to try out. The indeterminates are already kind of growing up and over the sides of the smaller frames right here. But these are plastic, and these little rings right here just snap on to these stakes. They might be metal inside. I think they are. I think they're plastic coated metal. Anyway, they're really lightweight and they fold down. Like, you can collapse these down for storage, which is awesome because you guys know how much of a pain tomato frames are to store. But anyway, we've had a ton of wind and you can see these are not protected by anything. There is no windbreak. This is the direction the wind comes. And I wondered that once these tomatoes had some bulk, I wondered if the wind would knock them down, and none of them have even hinted at falling over. So I'm happy with them. So I am going to be cutting out several branches, like anything like this. I'll be thinning out kind of the main canopy here, but I want to show you what a sucker is and what to look for. So you can see this branch right here. If you're keeping up on your tomato plants, you ideally want to be pinching out any suckers, and you'll find suckers right here in between one of the main branches and a set of leaves. See that little growth right in the center? So ideally you would have time to come out and pinch all of those suckers out just like that. And that way, like, these are potential fruit producing branches, but they take away a lot of energy from the main stem. And see, this main stem is producing fruit as well. And we want to direct the energy. So that's what we're working on. You can see down here, this is a more mature sucker. I hope you can see that. See the main stem coming up right here? This is a set of leaves, and this is a bigger sucker. Now, if you're at that stage of sucker growth, you'll want to use your pruners or scissors or something sharp, and you'll want to cut it out. The smaller ones are easy to pinch with your fingers, but the bigger ones you want to use something to cut, like my Felcos work great, because you could potentially with your fingers rip or accidentally tear the branch wrong. Also, I did forget to mention, if you plan on doing some tomato pruning, do it on a day that's supposed to be dry. You don't want to prune your tomato, open up a bunch of cuts on the plant, open wounds, and then have a bunch of moisture come down, because that can open up your plant to a whole lot of disease problems. And that is what we want to avoid. And keep in mind that if you are pruning on a day that's supposed to get super hot, which, you know, today is supposed to be 85, lovely day. And tomorrow's fairly mild too, but then the next day is 100 degrees. Some of the undergrowth that you expose, if you're doing major tomato pruning, might scorch a little bit. That's something that I just kind of expect to happen. Most of the time, like right now, I don't have to worry about a bunch of fruit, but my tomato plant last year, we'll put a picture on the screen, it had a ton of tomatoes on the interior of the plant. And so when I did my pruning, it exposed all of these beautiful tomatoes. So I put a thing of Harvest Guard. It's that little kind of sheer white cloth that protects your crops from like a light frost or from sun damage. I wrapped the whole tomato plant for like a week and a half with that Harvest Guard, and just to protect the tomatoes so they wouldn't scorch. And then I kind of like gradually took it off so that my tomatoes would be safe. So do keep that in mind as well. I don't have as much tomato set on these plants, so I don't have to worry about that. I do think that if I would have had these tomatoes in earlier, I would have had more fruit set. Like if I had them in earlier when they were, you know, flowering and setting fruit when the temperatures were cooler, then they would have a lot more fruit right now, and I would have to worry about that. But I'm just going to have to prune these and just wait for the temperatures to cool for them to want to start setting fruit again. And that's kind of the price I pay for being a little bit late this year, which is not a big deal. I mean, I'm so happy with the growth here. Just the experiment of trying out these tomato cages, trying out the soil on this land, and having them all on a drip system that's also connected to pumpkins. Like, there's some issues there that you may have to tinker with, and everything's going so well. So overall, I'm thankful. So now I'm just gonna set the camera up, take after this tomato plant, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. Also, take off any leaves or branches that are touching the soil. You don't want that. Doesn't that look different? So much better. You can see that the light is able to enter the inside of the plant, light and air, which is so important. I also cleaned up the base a whole lot. You don't want to have leaves and branches touching the soil, because if water splashes the soil and then splatters back up onto the leaves, it can cause some disease issues. So you can see, like, based on the look of the other ones, how much I need, or how much I did prune off the bottom of this one. Pretty crazy. This one still has quite a number of blooms on it. This is a hillbilly tomato, by the way. It's an heirloom type. You never know. I mean, it's hot. They may still not set fruit until it cools off a bit, but they might. Now that they're not supporting so much canopy growth, they'll have a whole lot more energy into setting fruit. So there's that one. Look at the one right next door. Oh my word. This one actually has some fruit on it, like some good fruit. I think this is a yellow pear. So this one I'll be a little bit more careful with. I don't want to cut off any fruit because I just have so few fruit this year so far. So I have to be careful with this one. And that's basically what my morning's gonna look like. So I have 29 more tomato plants to prune. So anyway, I'm just gonna get after it. Ooh, ooh, ripe ones. Yum. Didn't even know I had these ripe ones inside. Dang, I've been missing out. Look at what I'm unearthing. Tomatoes I didn't even know were ripe or there. This is exciting. Oh, look who's bringing me a water. Hi, baby.
It's all bright.
It is bright. Where are your sunnies, bud? Are they inside? Thank you.
The GoPro.
Thank you.
And a water.
I'm gonna set that down. Thank you. Thanks, baby.
And an extra battery.
Oh, perfect.
Just in case you run out.
I will run out because I got a lot of work to do. I'm finding tomatoes I didn't know I had, though.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah. All done. Doesn't that look so much different? It looks so much lighter. Like those tomatoes can breathe. But you can see all of these here. All the bottoms have been cleaned up. I actually just planted that one last night. That is the only tomato I had that did not survive. There were a bunch of ants that started living in the stems of the tomato that was there before. I have no idea what on earth. They just hollowed it right out. Anyway, I don't see any ants there right now, so I had that tomato I had started from seed inside this winter, still in the greenhouse, so I popped that one in last night. But we'll take a look. You can see some tomatoes starting to form in there. Just so much better, so much more airflow and light. There's a tomato on the ground that I picked. I need to remember to grab that. Oh, but it looks so good. I'm so glad to have this done. Now the red currant tomatoes, I didn't really do a lot of trimming. I did trim some really wild branches, but I'm growing these for floral arranging, not so much for eating. They're tiny little itty bitty tomatoes. And I'm more concerned about stem structure rather than plant structure, if that makes sense. So let me explain. First off, you can see what size of tomatoes they produce. They're just little itty bitty, beautiful little tomatoes. But what I want with these tomato stems is I want them to be long and full without any random cuts along the stem. This is my first year for growing them, and I don't really mind. They are setting fruit, and I don't mind that they're super wild. Look at that. Look at how cute. But I would rather not forfeit the look of the stems that I want to cut. And I don't even mind if some of them only produce flowers because I'll use them just with flowers. And then hopefully once it cools off, I'll use ones that have more fruit. Look how pretty this branch is right here and how beautiful that would be, and long. That's the other thing. I want to keep these branches long so I can use them in big floral arrangements. The other ones are for eating, so those are the ones I was mostly focused on. Like, who knew they were there? I didn't. Back in the shade of the high tunnel now. Now that project took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours, right around in there. It does not have to take that long if you keep after it from the very beginning. From when you plant the tomatoes, then you're only doing little cuts here and there. But I let these, like I planted them, I did trim them up a little bit from the base when I planted, and that is it. And they've just been sitting there for about a month now, just growing. So as a quick recap, we're only pruning indeterminate tomatoes, and the main goal at this point of the year, when you've let them get to the state that I let them get, we're mostly just concerned with improving airflow and light in the middle, so lightening up the canopy in the middle and cleaning up the bottom. We're not concerned so much about getting them pruned down to one stem. I feel like at this point it's a little bit too late for that. You kind of want to get that going right from the very beginning if you want to do like the single stake method. Again, we will link a video down below that shows that method. You also want to prune on a dry day. Prune in the morning if you can. Provide protection to the plants if they need it. Like there's a couple, the last tomato I showed you that has several tomatoes on the bottom. They get morning sun on that side and I think they'll be okay. I'm going to watch them. If it looks like they're even showing the tiniest bit of scorch, I'll put some harvest guard around the base of that tomato plant for a few days. And then if you have plants like mine that are kind of halting their tomato production, that's just natural. It just happens when it gets super hot. So don't be discouraged, but there are a couple of things you can change. Just make sure that you are consistently watering them. If you're not, you can back off on high nitrogen fertilizer. I mean, I'm gonna treat mine with tomato tone probably, I want to say in a couple of weeks. It does look like our weather is going to cool a little bit, and I don't really want to give them fertilizer right now because they're in hunker down mode. They don't really need a bunch. So I'll wait till it cools down a bit and then I'll give them some tomato tone, and that should last them through the rest of the season. Also, don't get too confident with your pruners. Don't reach around the back side of the tomato where you can't really see to cut a branch. Otherwise you might cut the top of your thumb pretty good. Doesn't happen very often, but it did today. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this morning's project. Super happy to have it done. I hope this video was helpful. The main thing is just to be brave. If you have tomato plants that just aren't doing well, they're just huge and massive and you feel like you want to go out there and prune them, just do it. There's really not a whole lot you can do wrong. I mean, you don't want to cut too much of the tomato plant out and expose too much of it. But in the end, most of the time they will thank you for a little bit of a prune job, a little haircut right in the middle of the summer, just to help them kind of keep going and redirect energy to what you want them to do, which is produce tomatoes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. I was just walking away from the project and I had to just take another look. Look at how great these look. So much better.